Imagine the Bidens looking at stories like this, just taking receipt of a $500 million golden plane from a Middle Eastern petrostate. I imagine them just going like, you have got to be kidding me. Brand new Gulf-funded bribe jet is another development, which is absolutely insane. Even by Donald Trump standards, even by the crypto king himself. Like, if you cast your mind back, right, just at the election in November, he launched his Trump coin, and he and his sons were like amping it up on Twitter, you know, buy Trump coin, buy Melania coin, and then, of course, as night follows day, as soon as the hype is over, they pull the rug on these digital crypto assets, and they're worthless, and people have lost their life. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not funny, right? They've been fooled. They've been hoodwinked. They've lost their life savings, some people. A fool and his money are easy to part, so the saying goes. But if you thought that was dodgy, I mean, now, look at Donald Trump. He's literally taking receipt of a $400 million private jet, which he will... Apparently there's no strings attached. Apparently it's just... They're just giving it to him out of the goodness of their hearts. So they are.
That the president will use a Qatari aircraft as a gift, as his presidential plane.
And when faced with questions, faced with accountability, it's like, why have you accepted this golden jet? And even if, like, I mean, this is always the question, isn't it? Even if it's totally innocent, even if whoever the Qatari prince or sheikh or emperor, I don't know much about Qatar's political setup. You've got me. I'm busted. Fine. But even if this individual, whoever it is, wasn't expecting anything in return for just handing over $500 million worth of golden plane with spinning rims on it, diamond and silver propellers. Even if there was no expectation of some sort of, you know, I'll scratch my back, I'll scratch your back if you scratch my, you know, to not even understand the optics of it. Like, wouldn't you just say no just for the optics? But interestingly, you know, for a group of people like MAGA, like Republicans, just like their culture war Tory or culture war reform types over here, for people who are absolutely punch drunk on symbolism any other day of the week or year, they don't seem to have any issue with looking at the symbolism, the optics of a deal like this. It's really quite the anomaly. Appears to be the one instance where the symbolism of something is actually not much of a problem for Donny. And so, yes, when he was faced with questions about this, he says, this is on Sky News, Trump says it would be stupid not to accept the Qatari plane, as the jet is already in the US. Critics of Donald Trump's move to accept an Air Force One replacement from Qatar have warned that it threatens to turn a global symbol of American power into an airborne collection of ethical, legal, security, and counterintelligence concerns. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's like, you know, if you just accept these gifts, these transportation devices from other nations that... look, I don't know everything about Qatari politics. I think I've made that clear. But let's say it is somewhat critical of America's steadfast support of Israel, ploughing into Gaza, murdering Muslims. Let's just say for a second, like, maybe Qatar might have something to say about that. Wouldn't you be at least a little bit nervous about putting the President of the United States in a plane, like, funded and just handed over by them, against a backdrop, like, in a world, in a modern, unstable, geopolitically chaotic world, the likes of which, like, even our own manufactured limos that our Prime Minister travels in the United Kingdom has been bugged to fuck. It's been espionaged out by Chinese spies, right? That has happened in the UK. Are we really supposed to believe that other nations wouldn't bug or maybe do something even worse to the plane that's carrying the president of the United States. Like, it just seems so fucking amateur to accept this bribe, to ignore the optics of how dodgy it obviously looks, and to ignore or turn a blind eye to the security concerns. Like, it's absolutely bewildering. These people are fucking learners. I mean, I'm not saying that Qatar or the Qatari government or Qatari princes or sheikhs or emperors or whatever, I'm not saying that they're adversarial nations. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if they did have some sort of issue with America's unwavering support of the genocide of Muslims in Gaza, if they did have at least a passing sympathy with some of the concerns of the 9/11 hijackers, for example, who also, like, I don't know if you remember this, because obviously it's a long time ago, right? It's like 20 years now. But one of the key drivers from, like, bin Laden and his merry band of men was that, like, they've seriously took issue with America's support of Israel. And Israel's aspirational at that point expansion. They really hated Israel, and by proxy, by extension, they really hated America. So, look, I'm not saying Qatar are Al-Qaeda. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if they did have some sort of sympathy, would you accept a fucking plane from them? Have you done your due diligence here? And of course, somewhere in the background, you got, the Bidens, haven't you? The Bidens just wondering how the fuck, after, like, what was their biggest crime? What was Hunter Biden's biggest crime? What did he do wrong, right? He smoked some crack. Okay. Fine. He smoked a bit of crack. He maybe allegedly, reportedly had sex with, ladies of the night. There was some sort of Ukrainian boardroom job or something, wasn't it? And then people were saying, like, oh, he only got the job because of who his dad was. I don't know if Republicans, especially MAGA, I don't know if Donald Trump is in much position to criticize Hunter Biden for only being where he is because of who his dad was. I mean, that to me never really fully stacked up. But what was the worst thing that Hunter Biden did? The most corrupt thing that Republicans used to slam him for was, like, maybe having got a job at a Ukrainian gas company, right? And I imagine the Bidens looking at stories like this, just taking receipt of a $500 million golden fucking plane from a Middle Eastern petrostate. I imagine them just going like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. And crypto coins flaring up like a casino. Judges getting arrested. Elon Musk coming in, dozing out departments so he can funnel all the money to SpaceX and Neuralink. Like, just imagine you were Hunter Biden looking at this fucking plane. Like, wouldn't you be like, I just don't fucking believe this.
Just another video with